Let's start with directories. Directories contain files and other directories. You've already seen the command that you use to see what a directory contains, the ls command. If I just type ls, I'll see what's in my current directory. Sometimes directories are displayed in different colors than files, but other than that, they'll look the same in the standard ls view. There are a few flags we can add to change the output. First, we can show all files, including hidden files, by adding -a to the command. Hidden files all start with a dot in their name and are not displayed by default. Usually hidden files are hidden for a reason, so you don't want to edit or delete any of these files unless you know what you're doing. We can get more information about each file with the -l flag, which stands for long format. You'll see each file or directory gets its own line. The first character in the first column is a D if that row is a directory. The rest of the first column are the permission settings for that file, starting with who is allowed to read, write, or execute the file. File permissions are beyond the scope of this video, but we'll provide a reference with more information if you are interested. The next column states how many files or directories are within a directory. For files, this is just one. The next two columns have to do with file ownership, which again is beyond the scope of this video. Finally, we have the file size. Directories will not show their total size, the date the file was last touched, and the file name. Some common flag combinations are ls-la to get the long form of all files, including hidden files, and ls-ltr, which prints out the files in order by increasing timestamp, so your newest files are at the bottom. To find out what files are in another directory, add that directory as an argument. I can run ls examples to see what is in my examples directory. I can also type out the full path to a directory I want to see. For example, I can look in tools/groups/bwedx. Tab complete really helps when you're typing out long paths. Now we can't stay in the home directory forever, so we need a way to switch directories. That is the cd command, which stands for change directory. Cd takes one argument, the path to the directory where you would like to go. Let's go into the examples directory. When typing paths, you can either use the absolute path, the path from the start of the file system, the root directory, or the relative path, the path from your current directory. The path I just used is a relative path. If I use an absolute path, say home, gridsan, student X, examples, you'll see I get the same result. Note that absolute paths in Linux start with a /, which is called the root directory. This is quite different if you're used to using Windows. For example, there's no C drive in Linux. There are a few symbols you can use that represent specific paths. You've already seen the tilde, which is the home directory. Another common one is dot, which stands for the current directory, and the other is ... which would be the parent directory, or the one above your current directory. Right now we're in examples, so if I were to run cd ... we'd get back to the home directory. You can use these symbols in longer paths, so if you want to refer to a path somewhere in your home directory, you can start that longer path with tilde. When you first log in, you'll always be in your home directory. You could just keep all your files here, but that can get cluttered pretty quickly. You may want one directory per project, separate directories for data, results, code, etc. To create a new directory, use the mkdir command, which I usually pronounce makedir. Makedir takes one argument, the name of the new directory you'd like to create. First, I'll make one called my project. If I want to create a results directory inside my project, I could use cd to get into my project, and then use the makedir command, Or I can make the directory from my home directory by typing the path to where I want the new directory along with the name I want to give it. So I can do mkdir myproject/results. Let's recap. We learned 3 commands in this unit: ls, cd, and makedir. ls shows us what's in a directory, and there are options to show hidden files, long format, and to change the order. cd allows us to change directories, and using makedir we can create new directories.